Hey guys, and welcome to the very first review on my channel. And what better game to start with than the highly divisive Avowed. Now, I know there's a lot of hate online for this one, and some of it is absolutely justified, which I'll touch on later, but overall, I truly enjoyed my time with it. I finished the game last night after about 30 hours, and I've got some thoughts. So let's start with the good. The level design, exploration, visuals, and combat were all top notch, and they completely carried this game for me until the credits rolled. So first up, we've got the level design, which was truly fantastic. The environments are beautifully crafted. It felt like every area had its own unique vibe, with intricate layouts and a loot chest hiding around every corner. Especially the first area of Dawnshore, which was a highlight for me. I absolutely recommend not rushing through the story here and taking your time to complete the side quests and bounties, as it's totally worth it. Next up, we've got the exploration, which in my opinion is the best part of the game, and believe it or not, reminded me of Breath of the Wild and Elden Ring at times. Now I say this in the vein of you're walking around the map, you don't have a quest marker, you don't have a waypoint, and you're just exploring. Everywhere you look within walking distance, there's a point of interest, and it just feels like such an amazing adventure. The sense of freedom is a beautiful thing. Now let's quickly talk about the visuals and performance. I played the game on the Series X entirely on the 60 FPS performance mode because I am absolutely one of those elitist snobs that simply cannot stomach a game at 30 FPS anymore. There were some drops here and there, most notably in towns and during heavy combat, but overall, it felt pretty dang good on a VRR display, and I'm very happy that it shipped with the performance mode at launch, because I know there was that one interview that scared everyone when they said they were targeting 30 only. That was a scary time. The visuals themselves, while inconsistent, were surprisingly gorgeous at times. This was interesting, as the pre-release footage never really looked all that great. Now let's talk about the combat, which honestly impressed the hell out of me. It is simply one of the best implementations of first-person melee combat in the entire genre. It's fast, fluid, satisfying, and most importantly, the weapons feel extremely impactful. Now this was a big complaint pre-release, that the weapons had no feel, they had no impact. The devs took this feedback and they did an amazing job of fixing it. Bethesda, take note, because the Elder Scrolls needs to feel this good. For my playthrough, I personally went with the shock pistol and the fire sword, and I never got bored of it. It just felt great the entire time. Now, let's talk about the negatives. I know that's why some of you are here, and I gotta be honest, I got a couple big ones. So first of all, the story and the characters were downright terrible. It was an absolute snooze fest that almost put me to sleep on multiple occasions. I actually ended up skipping most of the dialogue towards the end of the game because I just couldn't take it anymore. And funny story here, I even button mashed so hard near the end of the game that I inadvertently ended up with the worst possible ending, where all of my companions completely abandoned me and left me to fight solo for the rest of the game. It sucked, but it was actually pretty hilarious. Okay, negative number 2. While the exploration is amazing at first, it kind of loses its luster once you realize just how boring the loot pool is. There's tons of loot in this game, there's chests around every corner. Some of it is very important for crafting, but my goodness, is it ever boring. You'll get stacks and stacks of enchantment materials throughout the entire game, but you'll likely only ever use it on a few weapons. At the end of my playthrough, I had stacks of in the hundreds of enchantment materials that I was never gonna use. It just feels like filler junk. I think they could have done a much better job with this, and I hope they do if there's a sequel. So here's the thing, those are some serious flaws, especially for a story-driven RPG. But despite these flaws, I still had a blast playing through this game. It's an enigma. The faults are there, but the fun I had with the gameplay completely outweighed them. So yeah, in closing, I would definitely recommend giving this one a try if you're into the genre. As for my final score, I give it an IGN approved 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching my very first video on the channel, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Peace.